Mademoiselle et ça se deuxième channel. And jodi nous allons parler de Papa Loko. Now, you guys have been asking me to talk about Papa Loko for quite some time now, and here is the video he deserves, all right? Now, let me just start off by saying there are a few creators out there that I need to give a shout out to who also make very similar content to mine, who have made videos on Papa Loko. So shout outs to Ted Voodoo. I always see him commenting on my stuff. So please feel free to go check him out. His information is gonna be down below. Please, y'all, please. I always tell you guys to always do your research, and part of research is going to check out other creators as well as tapping in to the other creators who make similar content and going to tap in with other people who are tapped into the voodoo or spiritual realms around you, family members, things of the sort. Also, Haitian Bokor Elmera, that's another one. His channel was actually recently deleted and he just made a new one. Both of their information will be linked down below. So like I said, this video is going to be about the Loi Papa Loko. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I have no idea why I haven't done this video sooner. However, Papa Loko is the Loi of the earth, essentially. Responsible for all four elements: wind, water, fire, and earth. But also is one of the most important Loi because he is the spirit of the first ever voodoo priest. So honestly, I probably should have started with him or probably followed up with him after I did my Dambala video, but it kind of just slipped my mind. So I apologize, Loco, and all of my local devotees out there. Speaking of local devotees, Loco is actually one of the oldest lois in the Pantheon because he is one of the lois in the Haitian voodoo practice that come from Benin. Okay, now essentially with those lois, they're usually calmer, usually chiller, and some of them were actually reserved for the upper echelon people, what we like to call in the Haitian community as the elite, the higher ups. Not everyone was out here serving, local. It wasn't something that the commoners could do, okay? The lesser people, the poor people, they wasn't allowed to serve no local, okay? But now in Haiti, anyone could really serve local, anyone can call on local. But back in the day, if you are in Berlin now, comment down below, or if you are in Africa and you have local in your voodoo practice, let me know if you guys are allowed to serve local, because from what I understand, that's something that was not allowed. And my dad was actually telling me about that, and I was like, that's very interesting, because I know there's a couple of laws that are very up there that are reserved for the people that are more up there in status, either because of the offerings or just because of the nature of those laws. Very interesting tidbit. Also very important to know, Loco is the law that presides and is responsible for every voodoo ceremony that takes place, in particular the initiation ceremonies. He is responsible for every single person that is going to become a mumbo, an ogon, or anything of the sort. In particular, he is the one that is supposed to pass over the ason to you. So I'm not even gonna get into that because that's a lot. Ted Voodoo actually goes into that a lot in his video. I actually did watch his video a while ago, specifically regarding local, and that's why I'm thinking, I'm like, why didn't I make this video sooner? But the thing is with the asan, the asan is like literally part of the initiation process, and local has to pass it to you. If local for whatever reason don't want to pass it to you, or he thinks you're not worthy, or he didn't call on you to do it or to get it, you not becoming a mumbo that day, you're not becoming an ogon that day. If that's set, okay, that's set. And regarding back to ogon, we all know there's ogon and there's Hougan. There's Hougan, that's the Loi, and then there's Ogon, which is a voodoo priest, and then Mumbo is a voodoo priestess. So he is the spirit of the first voodoo priest, which is Hougan, right? Now I know guys, I know, because now a lot of people are going to be commenting down below, my enunciation is off. Oh my God, you can tell you're American. Shut up. Creole parler, Creole comprendre, you comprendre ça m'a dit. So for me, jolnu. All right, y'all understand exactly what the hell I'm saying. Y'all get the point. All right. So that's why this is super important, and that's why Loco is super important, because essentially he makes the rules. If he don't want to give you the asa, if he don't think you worthy, if he ain't call on you to do it, if he ain't call on you to be a mumbo or an organ, then you ain't gonna be the organ, because technically he is the spirit of Hougan. You feel me? So yeah, and that goes back to the video that I've made about being a mumbo, being an organ, and being a bokor, because I've made that video and a lot of people got a little touchy. Okay, I had some bokors in the comment section and some ogos and mumbos in the comment section, while a lot of people agreed there was some bokors was like, well, that's not true. You don't need to be called to be a bokor. Well, ancestors called me. Maybe they didn't, maybe they did. I'm not saying they did, I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying what I've always been told by bokors themselves, by organs themselves, by mumbos themselves, by practitioners themselves. Typically, the difference between an orga, a mumbo, and a bokor is that specifically organs and mumbos are called by the loi, by God to serve, and bokors are technically like kind of like enthusiasts, the ones that are educated. They want to, but they don't have that specific calling. It doesn't mean that they're less than, doesn't mean that they're not allowed to, doesn't mean that they shouldn't. It just means that they don't have that specific thing. That's what I've been told. Does that mean I'm 1000% right? No. I just know that that's what I've been told. Now, I'm gonna link that video down below so that y'all can see specifically what I said, because I know what I said, but I know for a fact that I specifically broke it down in that video. But specifically Loco is the law that is responsible for that entire ceremony that goes into that. Now, Loco, being the ritual specialist, is also the authority of arts, history, and he's very, very just, okay? He is the law that people call on when they have a really big court case, when they genuinely are fighting for their lives in a really big battle in terms of custody cases, child custody cases, very big issues where things need to land in their favor. He really hates unjust people, things that are really unfair. So if you know damn well that you out here scamming people, if you know that you, honestly, I hate to say, if you a lawyer, don't be out here trying to serve Loco. And I don't want to say all lawyers are vole, but a lot of lawyers, y'all be out here working for people that y'all know is doing fuck shit, and y'all trying to serve law and trying to be on the side of serving people that's not gonna serve you. Don't do it. Don't do it, because you're gonna force the law to not do things in your favor, okay? So again, I don't want to say that all lawyers are liars and all lawyers defend criminals, but I'm saying, you know, for the most part, Loco does fall on the end of always defending those who don't always get what's right for them. He's always going to defend the people that need justice. He is also the law of secrets and wisdom and powers, and he is also known as the law that essentially if he ever comes to you or if he ever chooses you to serve him, that means that you have some sort of power that is going to be unleashed or unlocked in a way. It is actually believed that essentially people that are chosen by him have some sort of very, very special abilities. And in turn, he actually does work with Aiza. I did do a video on Aiza. Yo, I'm still beating myself up. Like, I'm sorry, I already mentioned this, but like, it's so crazy how I have never done a video on Loco yet. But I did a video on Aiza. Feel free to check that out as well. He works very closely with Aiza. Like, for the most part, a lot of people do combine their altars. If you ever call on Loco, more than likely Aiza gonna be close by. When it comes to rituals, Aiza is gonna be close by. It's very much so hand in hand, because Aiza also does the whole initiation process, especially when it comes to mumbo. So they are very, very close. Now, originally, it is actually believed that Papa Loco was a real person. Now, I couldn't find too much on this, but every time I asked somebody, they gave me a different story. I've actually talked about this a couple of times on my channel, but some Loi are actually believed to be real people that actually became Loi. I personally don't even want to know, because that is kind of crazy. And I'm like, ooh, could I become a Loi? Like, I want to become a Loi. But, you know, I've actually been told a few times that apparently, like, some people's family have Loi that are literally just family members. And that's why no one could ever sit there. That's why nobody could ever sit there and make videos on every single Loi, because the Loi just keep coming. Like, people discover Loi every single day. Really, like, some people's families have specific Loi. Some some people have specific law. Some law just come out of nowhere. Like literally my family has a law that nobody knows who they are. Like personally, I keep asking people who the hell this law is, and it's just a law. And it's a real law because my family be feeding it. So it's just like, you will never be able to know all the law, because at the end of the day, law are people. It's a law at the end of the day. Law translates to law. It's a person, it's a people, it's actualization, and it's something that people follow in order to lead themselves or guide themselves to their ultimate goal in life, to lead themselves to God. So it's very nuanced. Papa Loco was actually perceived to be a royal member of a family way back when somewhere, until he was killed, died, etc., whatever the case may be, and perceived to be something that only rich people or people of a wealthier class can practice. It was not until after the slave trade, etc., that people of a regular class were able to actually devote to him. So it's very interesting, specifically because I don't really understand where they would have thought he would be a real person. I mean, that's a really long time ago. Maybe, you know how stories get passed down generation to generation. But it would kind of make sense, you know, if he was a wealthy person, if he was a wealthier class, then maybe people were like, oh, well, you know, he was wealthy. He wouldn't want no poor people, you know, devoting to him. I mean, hey, maybe he was bougie. I don't know. But it is believed that there are a lot of law that were legitimate people, and Papa Loco might be one of them. Now, aside from Aiza, he also is sometimes seen to be traveling with Papa Legba, and I've also did a video on Papa Legba as well. I'm gonna try to remember to put all these videos down below, but nonetheless, I do have a playlist on my channel called The Voodoo Family, and all the Voodoo family people that I've made videos about are gonna be there. I'm gonna definitely be rolling out a lot more of these by the end of the year. And essentially, just like Aiza, Papa Legba, etc., he is part of the Radalwa, which are way more chill. They come from Africa. They are way more traditional Wa. They don't really ask for much, but they really do demand respect. They're heavy on respect, but they're not like the crazy, go off, have fun, hot, volatile Wa, such as some of the Urzulis or some of the Gede Loas, which the Gedes have their own class, but you know what I'm talking about, or you know, the Baron Loa. Like they not like that. They real chill. They get the job done. You know, they just cruising, you know, like villains, you know, well, not like villains, you get the point. They're just living a life. Now, oftentimes Papa Loco is synchronized with Saint Joseph, and his feast day is actually March 19th. His colors are gold, yellow, and white, and sometimes red and white. I'm not even gonna lie, I've mostly seen red and white when it comes to Loco, but I think it really depends on the region of Haiti and the specific devotees. But most of the time, you will more than likely always see whites, and that's probably because of his altar and the things and offerings that people bring to him. Now, the offerings can include white rice, symbols such as keys, any white food, healing herb, white rum, and any type of plants. He's very big on plants, okay? He does like a clean altar, but it doesn't gotta be spick and span. But like his altar is very, you know, like minimal. Like it doesn't gotta be like flamboyant, but usually very nice, orderly. It just gotta be clear and direct that it's for him. However, he does require his proper creatures at the altar. Now, one really big representative of Papa Loco are the butterflies, specifically black butterflies. I ain't even gonna lie, I don't like butterflies. I'm actually terrified of butterflies. Don't ask me. I know a lot of people, they hear that I'm terrified of butterflies and they're like, how the fuck could you be afraid of butterflies? I don't like the way they fly. Yes, that sounds crazy, but I don't like the way butterflies fly. They fly like this. Like, why? Like, that's weird. But anyways, butterflies are his thing, okay? He's known to come to people as butterflies. It's said that if, you know, you see a black butterfly, it means that he's trying to communicate with you, that you've been gifted or chosen, or you've been gifted or chosen in a way. If I see a black butterfly, chances are I'm running. But hey, butterflies are a big thing for him, as well as roosters, specifically the fighting kind. Don't ask. Listen. Snakes, and of course the maple tree. Yes, the maple tree is something that is very, very sacred to him. Maple trees are something that, honestly, I don't know know how to find them. From what I heard in Haiti, you find them a lot, but it's something that is like very, very pertinent to local specifically. So if you can some way, somehow put your altar near one, or maybe put like leaves or dirt or branches or something from one, he would very much appreciate that. And finally, he is technically the loi of communication. However, he is one of those lois where, just like the other Rada loi, it's hard to tell when he's communicating with you. I personally would hate to have any of the Rada loi try to communicate with me because I like clear, direct answers. I don't have any time for signs, okay? So Loco likes to personificate. He likes to come to you through plants, okay? He the type to pull up in like a garden. Like, it just, I don't get it. Just like how I believe it was Dambala that hisses at you. Yeah, I don't got time for that. Like, I'm gonna need you to send an email, sir, during business hours. Like, that's the type of stuff that he does. Like, he doesn't really do the whole possession through ceremony type thing often. Like, yeah, maybe once in a while, but not as much as the other loi do. Like, the other loi come through you through possession and the ooh, yeah, well, it went live type. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's not doing that. So it's very interesting. You have to really pay attention when it comes to serving local because, yeah, it's plants. It's all that. That's literally how you're getting any messages through him. It's nature, it's plants, it's water, it's fire. So good luck. But overall, that is a very powerful loi. He is known for making people very wealthy, known for bringing justice when needed, and known for healing people in literally their last days when absolutely nothing else can help. Definitely one of the most important loi in the voodoo practice ever. And yeah, I'd love to hear down below if you guys have ever heard of Loco, if you are a Loco devotee, if you guys would like to learn more about him. That's it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. Join the Patreon for exclusive uploads. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Woo!